Hello! It's an Accidents on Purpose mini episode. Danny and I have a new little mini episode idea for you. Danny, why don't you tell them what it's all about?
Joseph, I mean, I don't know about you.
Yeah, you don't.
I do know about you, but so when I was younger, when I first started really buying music, one of the record labels that I found to be just like awesome was Dischord Records. And I think it's because they released so few records and put every single number on the spine that you really just wanted to be like, well, I want every single one of these records. I want to collect all of them. And then at a certain point, you're like, wait, not all of these are good.
Yeah.
Like when I started buying music, Dischord was releasing, Lungfish, The Makeup, Fugazi was still putting out records. But then I started like getting like Fire Party records.
Yeah.
And Trusty records.
Yeah.
And,
Ooh, I had a Trusty record.
Yeah.
Not good.
And so anyways, I mean, the idea behind the label was like, we're going to release the greatest stuff from our hometown.
See,
it's such a good idea.
I loved that.
It's such a good idea.
When I got into punk, the idea about how they created a community through that label and just like, it was really, I just wanted to go through everything.
Yeah.
I was like, how do they do this?
And so listeners, we are going to, because, we do an AM radio show, which we occasionally release as a podcast.
Yeah.
But our marketing team was like, you should just do something that's only a podcast.
Yeah.
So this is going to be only a podcast. It's going to happen every other episode, and it's called Dischord, Dadchord, whatever chord you want.
Oh!
And we're going to go through every single Dischord release one at a time.
Every single one. Each episode
halves,
will be
the
about
thirds,
that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
So the very first one is the Teen Idols.
The Teen Idols, Minor Disturbance EP. They have a lot of, as with all DC bands, they all end up in other bands. They came from other bands. I believe the band started out as the Slinkies.
Yep.
And then like Jeff Nelson, the drummer, he ends up being in Minor Threat. Ian MacKaye, who plays bass in this, ends up singing for Minor Threat. Nathan Strezick, who is the singer, he ends up being in Youth Brigade, and I forgot the fucking guitarist's name.
Who hasn't forgotten his name?
Oh.
But, and so, what do you think about the release?
I remember in high school when I first heard it, I'd heard Minor Threat first, and I just felt like it was like hearing more Minor Threat, even though it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
And now listening to it, because before we're listening to them each fresh right before we go into the episode. I listened to it today.
We buy original pressings off of eBay.
I listened to it on YouTube.
No, we buy original pressings off of eBay. Gary throws it on, we listen to it, and as soon as we're done listening to it, we destroy it.
Yeah.
Take that, record collectors.
Whatever chord you fucking want. It's the first time they ever recorded at Inner Ear Studios. With Don Z, I never know how to say his last name, Zientra.
I don't think he knows that.
Who they end up recording like so many Dischord things with, and it's just like just sounds like someone who's really bad at playing bass.
It's if those people didn't go on to do other things, it would be a super footnote.
Yes, except for the song "Get Up and Go,"
it's a really
which
good song.
I really like that song, which embodies punk because it's just like
wait, hold on, Gary, have you destroyed the record yet? You haven't yet? Let's throw it on.
Go! 5, 6, 7, 8!
so I love those lyrics because they embody like what they were trying to do, and like because I know they were trying to get away from what they felt punk had become with like new wave and stuff. And so Get Up and Go is just about like, you say we need to practice, like you say we need to be better at our instruments. I just say we need to fucking do this.
Yeah.
Like,
And they also sing about like not being able to get into shows. We just want to rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, there's like two things I want to say about it. One, it is like seeing Ian MacKaye with this weird haircut.
Yeah.
And he's
Curl
hair. And he's like, very young. And it's like you're looking at that guy, you're looking at that kid, and you're like, wow, you're going to start a hardcore band that's going to define a huge amount of sound, and you're going to invent the phrase straight edge. Mm-hmm. And then eventually you're going to make this like weird like reggae band that's going to be one of the biggest indie bands of all time. And it's just funny because like looking at you like right now, you're just this like kid with like bad hair playing bass.
Yeah, shittily playing bass.
And then the other funny thing is that they're really into Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And it's funny because then it worked. Like then it's like we're rejecting alcohol and like it's cool that we're just like drinking Coke. But like it's funny because now if a band was like we're really into Coke, people would be like talking about corporations, they were talking about health, and like all these things,
like corn syrup and sugar. That's
which
like I agree with. Like sometimes I think about that. I'm like that wasn't good for you. Like
it wasn't, but it was fine at the time.
Yeah,
and it shows it's really I think it's really really interesting that they're really into Coke, which at the time I feel is okay.
Yeah,
but if a band was really into Coca-Cola now, like there's something very wrong with you.
And so, needless to say, it's like a historic release for Discord because it's the first one. They took all the money. The band was breaking up. They took all the money that the band had made, and they just decided to like do. And they handfold all the covers and shit.
And like just the idea, like now now anyone can put something on SoundCloud, like this fucking shitty podcast.
Yeah.
But but like just imagine a bunch of teenagers being like, this band's broke up.
Yeah. I
think we did some fun stuff. It would be really fun to hold a record in our hand.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. It's great.
Because and it's one of the best parts about Discord and like their, I guess, philosophy is like we just want to have a record of this. Like we just want to remember this, even if it's just for us. Like even if it never goes anywhere. And that's what I love. And so like that's why sometimes even the shitty bands are like it's still interesting because that's what was happening in their world at the time and they found it important.
So yeah, that's Discord Dat chord. Hey,
any chord you want. Could be a fucking A chord, a G chord.
A D chord?
Yep, any chord you want.
Is there an I chord?
There isn't, not yet.
Not in
Not until you invent. Thanks for listening.